it's very low, dependent on.
We're big live right now.
I think he might be like my wide receiver 47.
We're huge live.
Well, if the trade is official, once the Aaron Rodgers trade officially happens, then Davante Adams is off my board. I'm not even going to rank him.
Gee, that's a bold take.
He's just off your board.
I'm not even going to rank him. What's the point?
It's a bold
Aaron
take.
Rodgers, he's a great receiver, but
Davante Adams or KJ Hamler.
Wait, hold on. Did Rodgers get traded to Denver? Yes, he did. So then KJ Hamler.
You're going to take a KJ Hamler over Davante Adams?
Dude, if this trade happened yesterday, Jerry Jeudy would be in my top 10 rankings. Easily.
I didn't ask about Jerry Jeudy.
Close.
I asked about KJ Hamler.
Maybe top 20.
KJ Hamler is going to catch a total of 35 passes this year, though.
Did you guys see Gary Brightwell in
27
OTAs?
touchdowns.
They're going to be really good passes, but did we see Gary Brightwell in OTAs?
Yeah, it looked good. He was the only one with
made a
pads
one-handed
out there.
catch.
Yeah.
So you're saying
Gary Brightwell, he's such a ball player. The rest of the team is wearing shorts and t-shirts, and he came out full padded.
So you're saying my investment into Saquon is already an L because of Brightwell?
Well, no, just handcuff Saquon with Gary in like round 7. You're
Vice
fine.
versa, handcuff Brightwell with Saquon.
I mean, pretty much. I'm not loving what I'm hearing from Saquon, taking his time in rehab. Get the fuck out there. You got quads the size of an animal's body. I don't want to hear it.
He'll be fine. You know what the other thing about Saquon and Dynasty is? Like, no matter what, he's getting a fat second contract. He could tear his ACL this year again, and he's still getting a 4 for $62 million contract.
Correct.
You ended up going Saquon in that Dynasty draft that you sent us?
Yeah, I went 105. I didn't feel good about it at all. I debated going with Justin Herbert there, but at the end of the day, it's just like I just want a top running back there, and I'll build the rest of the team around there.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that was a mistake. You should have went with Henry or Chubb or a quarterback, but whatever.
Definitely wasn't going Henry or Chubb at the 105. No fucking
Well, then
chance.
you trade out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. That's the mistake. That's the mistake. It was either staying there or trading out, but
yeah, like
whatever.
Don't stay somewhere and take someone that you're really not in love with just because like the value is there and that's where like consensus tells you should take them.
Well, it wasn't value or consensus. It was just like team strategy, team building. I wanted a running back one, and after that, there was no one that I thought was a good deal.
Listen.
I thought C-Mac was going to fall to 105.
You're taking advice from a guy who has Carson Wentz is the quarterback 1, and a man who won a total of maybe 6 fantasy football games in like 8 leagues last year. So
before we actually get into like the portion of the show where we talk about wide receiver rankings and whatnot, I do want to say one thing briefly about Derrick Henry in the first round, because there's been a lot of talk about him. And like people, if he goes in the first round, people are saying it's a bad pick. You shouldn't be drafting Derrick Henry in the first round of a dynasty league. And I'll tell you why you should. Because he's the best running back in football. He probably will be for another 2 years, and it will help you your team win. So if you're looking to build like a core of players that are young and they're going to help you compete for 10 years or 5 years, that's cool. But Derrick Henry will help you win now. So that's my case. Don't be afraid to take Derrick Henry in the first round.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Can we move on?
Okay.
So
today we're going to talk wide receiver rankings. I think we all did our own.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, did you do wide receiver rankings too?
Oh, I usually take my rankings straight from you, Animal. But I guess I
all right, good. So we all have our own top 12 wide receiver rankings that we're going to debate and discuss, and most likely probably it's just going to be a solid like 45 minutes of my rankings getting ripped apart, even though they're very close to everyone else's. But that's, we'll see what happens.
I actually, Adam, I feel like you got a good pulse on the wide receivers. I had a difficult time putting some guys in certain orders, so I think I'm going to be the one getting ripped on today.
I thought it was fucking easy.
Well, I didn't know where to put Sterling Shepard in the top 12, so I kind of
on the Giants
tried
depth
to
chart.
Fit him in, but no, he looks good in OTAs. So
really. Is there anyone that doesn't look good in Giants OTA?
Where do you want me to start?
You mean besides Kadarius Toney, right?
Listen.
You've been hearing the reports of him? An absolutely abysmal start to OTAs?
Yeah, apparently his last day was very good, but the beginning of it was awful, and I don't like hearing that. However, I don't really give a shit what he does. As long as that first-round pick from the Chicago Bears is still attached to his name, I don't give a shit. Go out there, tear your ACL. I don't care. Well, I do,
yeah,
but
I guess, yeah.
I'm not really wishing for that on anybody except. Nope, I'm not going there.
All right.
Not doing
Wide
All right, so
receiver
how would
one.
we like to do this? Do we want to go like I'll give you my number one guy, you give me your number one, then we talk about it, or do you want to go?
Let's just
let's
all
our
lay
number
out.
one guy.
We're all gonna say our guy. Just one fucking word, or maybe 2 words if they end up having 2 names, first name and a last name.
Some of them have last names.
What if they have what if they have 3?
Who has 3 names?
Well, there's really Donovan Peoples-Jones, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's what
Number 9.
Names. Smith and Schuster are attached to each other.
Whatever.
All right, so I'll start it off. Top 12 wide receiver rankings, half PPR. I guess this is redraft, right?
Yes,
Not
Animal.
Dynasty.
Otherwise,
Yeah, I thought we were doing for this upcoming season. Yeah.
I feel like they don't really change that much anyway.
Just
between
fucking
Dynasty
say your
and,
guy.
and redraft.
You're fucking
All right, so I went with the wide receiver one, Tyreek Hill. I mean,
me too.
I'm just not going to fade Tyreek Hill. There's no reason
we
to.
just said we were going
He has
to
the
lay out
potential
the
to do it
names
every
and then
year.
argue. We said we were going to do the names
All right,
first
that's
and then
it.
argue.
Okay, good, because I have Tyreek Hill at number 2, and
Well, tell us your number one.
I have Stephon Diggs at number 1. I'm starting to get way too giddy about the Buffalo offense, and I think I said that the other week, and starting to make me a little nervous. But I do love a lot of things. Him and Josh Allen had unbelievable chemistry last year. That run game is about as pitiful as my liver. I mean,
Why don't you cut him off and tell him to just say the name?
Because like you know what? It's just I say it like 5 times and then it just goes like ignored anyways.
wait. But you guys have the same. You guys have the same guy. I'm the only one with Stephon Diggs at 1. So I figure I say why I have him, and then you guys could talk about Tyreek Hill.
Sure.
I mean, does that not really make sense?
It's way too much sense. Can't believe I didn't. think of
Stephon
it.
Diggs, wide receiver 1, 2021.
He's my wide receiver 2, so I flipped him. I got Tyreek Hill at 1. I got Stephon Diggs at 2. Basically, what you said. There's just no way that Diggs doesn't see another 155 targets, whatever the fuck he might be. And your second year getting it in together, him and Allen. It's gonna be silly out there in Buffalo. They're a pass first offense. They showed us what they want last year. And Tyreek Hill is. Tyreek Hill, I feel like his wide receiver 1 ranking is fine. I do think we're going to be looking at the 15 touchdowns he scored last year as like the reason why he should be 1. If he drops down to
Hold on.
Are we super delayed right
Got
now?
coffee.
Yeah, we are, because I
Okay.
just saw it now.
Because I heard a scream from Animal, and then now
While he was still
dropped the
sipping his coffee. Yeah. Doofus.
Okay,
Either way,
whatever. So Tyreek Hill, if he has a bad year, touchdown wise, that could be a problem just because he doesn't get the volume that Diggs does.
Right, and that's why I love Diggs, and I still love Brian Dable coming back is just so key to me, because if he got a head coaching job and they had a new offense, I'm sure they may have promoted from within, but just that continuity in year 2 with Allen and the same offensive coordinator, and we saw a pass first offense. I don't know. I love it. Love it.
Okay, it says Animal is delayed.
All
Us
right.
2 aren't.
I'm delayed.
You're really delayed.
Talk about my shit, internet animal.
Big man
That
move
sucks.
slow. It's all right.
You know what? I dropped my coffee and everything went to hell.
Yeah, we heard it happen and then didn't get to see it until you had like already finished your coffee by the time you dropped it, basically.
You want me to hang up and leave? But before I do,
Yeah. That's
Stephon Diggs
perfect.
is my wide receiver 2.
Don't say anything after that. Just hang up and leave.
All right, I'll be right back.
You have Diggs too? Okay,
Don't-
yeah.
don't
So we
come back, though.
so 1 and 2 we both have just orders.
Okay, Snacks. Let's just fucking rally.
Really
Let's
excited.
get to like number 8.
Yeah.
And by the time he comes back, be like, sorry, bro, we had to miss you with all our picks. Number 3. Fuck, he's already back. We're gonna keep Animal in timeout for a few minutes as we gracefully discuss number 3. I have DeAndre Hopkins at number 3.
Ooh, wow. See, I like this a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. The first year with Kyler Murray was like ridiculous. Him and Diggs were the guys that everybody said to fade because they were going to new teams. Top is just as talented as ever. I know they add AJ Green, which I'm not nervous about. Rondell Moore is like a line of scrimmage kind of guy, getting those targets, maybe some backfield share. I don't know. I just don't see anything changes. I hope that this Arizona offense doesn't fucking stink and their play calling isn't abysmal, but I don't know. D-Hop, I feel like realistically the top 5 guys, all these guys aren't like that separated to me. So it's like whoever you get with, he's like the least risky here. So even if he ends up being a point per game fewer than Diggs or Tyreek Hill or whoever you think has more upside, like I'm fine with DeAndre here as like my stable of the wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I'm stupidly, like, for whatever reason, just continuously faded DeAndre Hopkins. And I don't know why. I feel like he's like 45 years old and he's not. He only had 6 touchdowns last year, so you would think that goes up.
Yeah, there's only so many times we can learn.
I know. I'm done with that. And he was playing so well. And then Kyler, mid-season, towards the end of the year, he got kind of banged up, and the progression went down a little bit. But
so DeAndre Hopkins is my wide receiver 3.
Thank you, Animal. As you gracefully entered the chat again. Snacks,
looking
is that
sharp.
You had him, or you didn't have him at wide receiver 3?
No, this was my thing. I was gonna put him 3. I have him 4. I put Davante Adams at 3, just under the premise of Rodgers being there, which, from everything we're reading and hearing, it doesn't look to be the case. But until I hear otherwise, Adams is gonna stay there.
I think I'm frozen.
Yeah, you are. That's fine though. Davante Adams at 3. I like, if Rodgers is there, yeah, he's probably 1. But like,
he's probably 1, right?
Him
exactly,
right now, currently, as Rodgers is not going to be there. So
right. No, and I completely understand that. I don't know. It's tough. So I put Adams 3, and then I put D-Hop at 4.
We're so lagging. Like the sound, the picture. I'm frozen. This is insane. Okay. I threw.
Yeah, we
Adams,
apologize for the live show. It was a tough work schedule this week, everybody. Sorry.
Yeah, I know I'm frozen. Whatever, y'all. Let's move down
had,
to
19 hours of meeting straight. Crazy,
dude. My Tuesday was disgusting.
Can't be. Yeah, you better fucking be in business over there with the amount of fucking meetings you got going on. Number 4.
Hey, well, I'm doing well.
Number 4. I have Keenan Allen up at number 4.
Wow.
I've got Keenan up at number 4. When you look at the pace of play or the pace of opportunity that he had with Justin Herbert under center, it's absurd. They're a team that their pace of play overall was like number 1 or 2 in the NFL last year. They're going to keep building around Herbert's like hurry up style of offense he played at Oregon. Listen, Keenan Allen had a full like 14 games with Herbert. Take out the game he got injured. Take out week 1 where it was Tyrod. He was on pace for like 180 targets. Hunter Henry got it now. Maybe Keenan's got some touchdown upside mixed in there. I think he is the single best value in fantasy drafts right now in the 3rd round.
I mean, it's tough to argue those.
Listen, the talent's there. I love him in the quarterback situation, but I don't know. There's just something about like the new coach, new everything, new system. I just don't love any of the guys in that when it's all new like that. I tend to stay away.
It could take
like I think 4 is very high.
Could take yeah, I agree. I have him a little further down, and it could take like the first half of the season for them to get acclimated in a new system, everything like Animal said. So that may be a little too high for
he's
my,
a rookie
my
not a rookie quarterback, 2nd-year quarterback. If this is like a guy like a Matt Stafford who's in a new situation, I trust someone like that more because of the veteran presence. They just know the game.
Different story.
If that makes
they
any
can
sense.
Pick everything up quicker. Yep. Yeah, no, I got you.
It's really bad arguments by you guys.
Well, at number 4, Justin Jefferson, because he's really good. So he averaged 14.4 points a game. He had a couple of stinkers and duds, like early in there, getting acclimated to the system. But once he got involved, it was
don't use my word.
So it happened. The guy broke rookie records. So
he did a very good job last year. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Can I since I gave my 3 and 4?
Who was your 4?
Can I give my? It was D-Hop, because I had Adams at 3 under the premise of but you know what? That's so stupid to me. Like, I'm so brain dead. It's disgusting. If I'm going under the premise that Rodgers is playing for Green Bay, I've had Adams probably at number 1. So I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But regardless,
3. But okay, listen, you're obviously not
yeah,
good.
I know. Like I just told you I'm brain dead. All right, it's Friday. I'm enjoying myself. You want me to give you my number 5?
Please.
Calvin Ridley.
We're all going to have Calvin Ridley here. I have a feeling.
Calvin Ridley, yeah.
No, we're not.
I thought that was kind of obvious. No, we're not. Okay, well, yeah, Calvin Ridley, I thought that was too obvious.
So, Animal, what's the obvious number 5 here?
Paris Campbell.
I have A.J. Brown.
Okay.
I have A.J. Brown.
Yeah,
I just think the fact that I'm basically swapping them because of Julio. Julio goes there. I think he's going to help the whole offense. open up some more.
So wait,
for
hold on.
AJ
Calvin
Brown.
Ridley moves down because Julio leaves, and AJ Brown moves up because Julio gets there.
Yeah, because everyone's going off of the games last year where he played without Julio, but those were games where like Julio didn't play that week, and then they didn't have time to game plan for just Ridley, so he had a little advantage. It's like if they know that Julio's not on the team now, they're going to be planning for Ridley. So those absurd numbers that he put up, it's going to be very hard to match.
I respect that line of thinking a lot. You think? Animal, I respect that line of thinking a lot, but you know the Titans better than anybody because of Derrick Henry. And I think they run the ball a lot, and then there is Julio there too. So I'm not really sure if AJ gets even remotely close to the. Okay, that's fine. That's all well and good.
All Julio does is elevate the entire offense.
Listen, I love AJ Brown for the simple fact that Julio's there. I love him more than I did last year, but I don't know if I put him ahead ofRidley because Julio's gone and the roles are reversed now.
I had a tough time.
Well, regardless,
let's clarify. I told you I swapped him. I have Ridley at 6. It's not like it's not egregious.
Yes, I got you.
Plus the foot thing worries me. I don't know what it is. They said it's a cleanup or whatever, but who knows?
The foot thing worries me a little bit. The ceiling, the intriguement of Ridley is that we don't actually know what his ceiling is, and I feel like it could, yes, borderline be the roof. AJ Brown, I do think we're probably starting to overthink this a little bit because I was starting to look at the numbers. I'm like, dude, this could just wind up being 29% target share for AJ Brown, 26% for Julio Jones. Call it a fucking day. And if that's the case, like I look back at last year, AJ Brown was at about 26% of the targets. Corey Davis was at 23%. So if you think Julio's not getting a floor of 23%, then we got to start asking ourselves, like, even if it's a lower volume passing offense, like him and Julio are going to combine.
Way more efficient.
Yeah, they're just going to combine for 55% of the targets. So like my first line of thinking when the trade happened was that I'm going to move AJ Brown to like a low end wide receiver 1. And now I'm thinking, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? They're all kind of in the same tier. If you want to put them up at 5, I'm fine with that. I think originally, if Julio wasn't there, he would have been as high as probably like my wide receiver 3-ish in that like actual elite tier because, you know, he was on pace to get probably 150, 160 targets. Now I think he probably drops him down to like 130, 135. I think him and Julio can probably both do that. So, yeah, I mean, I got Ridley at 5, but depending on what happens with this foot thing, because they're being weird about it, he will probably drop down a little bit. I got AJ Brown at 8. Moving on to 6, I have DK Metcalf here. I just think we're probably thinking a little bit too hard about this one again, too. It's just like, I don't know, fresh year. He gets Russell Wilson again, and that's really all I need to hear.
Yeah, and well, it's also recency bias, too. I have DK here as well.
Right.
The latter part of last year, we saw Wilson and DK kind of fall off a bit.
This team is so streaky. It feels like every year we go into the year, it's like you saw what Russell Wilson did the first 8 weeks, and then he was bad the second 8 weeks. You saw what Tyler Lockett did the first 8 weeks. You know, it seems like for the last 4 years running, there's something like that every year. Thing. Yeah, and I'm just like, whatever. You're going to take the good
out
with the
like
bad.
Mid-season every time. It's like the teams like start to figure him out.
But sometimes, remember Russ, a couple of years ago, Russ was like starting really slow, and then he got really good towards the end of the year. You know, like, and I don't know. I'm just like, whatever. DK at the end of the season is going to have monster numbers, so just give me it however it fucking comes.
Yeah, I'm with you on DK. He's in that third year, and I mean he had 83, 1,310 last year, so I feel like this is the perfect spot for him. Right, and he's a freak of nature. You know, he's what they call a freak athlete, right, Animal?
You guys both had DK at 6, so you guys obviously talked before this. I went number 7. I have Davante Adams. I finally put him in here. I have to have him in the top 10 just for the talent alone that he is. The problem is, who's his quarterback? I don't know. That's why I have him here. That's it. The guys. If Rodgers stays, he goes right back up to 1. If he goes, I keep him here. I might even move him down more. Probably take him off my board.
There's no debate, right? Rodgers shows up to camp. Davante Adams in a tier by himself at 1, right?
Correct.
Yeah, easily. Not even close, but like too much going on right now. It's just uncertain. I'm not gonna ruin my reputation putting him at number 1.
That's already far gone.
You ruined it 2 weeks ago. You said Carson Wentz is the quarterback 1, and you don't want to ruin your reputation.
How high does Davante Adams go if Carson Wentz is his quarterback? Just questioning. You know, not obviously it's a hypothetical situation, but is he 101 overall?
Yeah. What's before 101? Anything? Because that's where he should be drafted.
No.
Carson
Don't worry
Wentz?
about it. Listen, Davante Adams, number 7. You guys, who you got?
I got J.
Justin Jefferson.
Go.
Jesus Christ! Now it does look like we talked before.
Listen, we're just fucking two beasts, big braining.
Yeah, well, you know what? We have rings over the last year, so
Can't think Think for yourselves. It's okay.
That's how you win championships, Animal.
Maybe you should stop thinking for yourself, and you could do a little bit more
fading the
successfully in
public
fantasy
over here.
football.
Maybe from now on,
it hasn't worked.
Maybe when you come on these shows from now on, you should not actually say anything and just take notes from what we say, and then
Oh,
draft
that's not a
based
bad
on that.
idea.
You might fuck around and win a couple
I got
games.
a guy working on my lineup optimizer. I'm not worried.
Okay.
No.
Well, it's not about the lineup optimizers. It's drafting.
The fact that you need a computer to set your own lineup is just par in the course of trash.
Okay, so we got 7.
Although
It's
you
going to
look
get
good
interesting when we
doing
get
it.
to number 8. But you guys, who's your number 7?
7 is Justin Jefferson for both of us. This is where I put AJ Brown at number 8.
That's right. You both went Justin Jefferson. All right. Number 8. And you guys are, I know this is going to be the one that goes, it's such an animal.
Wait.
Blah, blah.
Wait. Can I
Can we guess?
Can I
Can we guess?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to guess.
You go first.
Because you preface it with that, I'm going to say Amari Cooper.
No.
That's a good guess. I will go with.
like
So
Jamar
I will
Chase.
preface by saying I probably wanted to have him at 10, but I think I boosted him a little bit for this. So I probably should
Can
have
I-
him at 10 is where I really believe he will be, but I boosted him. Little
All
booster.
right.
Allen Robinson.
No.
Sorry, go.
I
Sam.
think it's one of the Tampa Bay receivers. I'm just not positive which.
It's
I'm
definitely-
going to go Mike Evans.
It's definitely Evans if it's one of them.
It is not Mike Evans. Very close, though, because I do have him at number 9. Do you want to guess
Shit.
still?
Well, I don't think Michael
Anyone
Thomas
in the chat
is that
want to throw a
surprising
couple
there.
guesses out there? I see Jerry Judy. It is not Jerry Judy.
Is it Michael Thomas?
Please, I would never rank him in my top 20. That guy's a loser.
I actually like Michael Thomas this year, but anyway.
Who the fuck
Yeah,
did
we'll
you
see.
pick?
All right, so
No.
I'll tell you. Here we go. He goes by the name Bobby Trees, and hear
Oh
me
my
out
God.
before you
This is
you
bad.
smash
This
it.
is bad.
He's the wide receiver 1 in LA. He's the LA Rams wide receiver 1. Everyone wants to talk about Cooper Kupp this year.
How do you know
It's not
that?
Cooper Kupp. It's Robert Woods.
It's a
He's a
new-
versatile
new
guy. He does it
situation,
all.
new quarterback.
Stafford's
We
gonna
don't know.
pepper him. He's never had a run game. This is it. I'm pissed I can't see Nick's face.
You don't want to see my face right now. Trust me.
I was going to say it's probably better off, I mean, it's what is this? 8? This is a little. I feel like it's a little
I told you,
aggressive.
I probably wanted him to have him at
animal,
10, but I
but-
boosted him for the show. I gave him
Safe to
DraftKings
say
and
you're going to
FanDuel give
own
you
Robert
boosters.
Woods everywhere.
And safe to say
I would
you're
love to, yeah,
probably
but
going to
because
be in last place.
Part of
again.
this is because of the ADP and the value. Like you're going to be able to get him a lot later than not basically, than everybody we just talked about. And I think he'll produce basically the same.
Can I say
Week in, week
something
out.
right now, Animal? Straight up, I'm
Yes.
taking Cooper Kupp over Robert Woods.
I know a lot of people are.
Good. A lot of people are right.
I
You're
disagree
wrong.
with it.
Clearly, you
No.
haven't. You have him in the zone of where I have fucking AJ Brown ranked.
Mm.
I
AJ
just
Brown
think,
would literally eat Robert Woods for a fucking afternoon snack. Snacks.
he's just the guy
Well,
that everyone's going to be a lot
he's a
lower
big-
on than they
big boy.
should be, and like they are every year. And he outproduces expectations every year. I think with Matt
Yeah, but to
Stafford,
be
you're gonna just
a
see
top
an
8
uptick.
receiver.
Top 10. But I do have him at 8, yes. But I told you I boosted it for the
All
show.
right, well,
Little booster odds.
all right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, since Nick gave AJ Brown, I'm going to give number 8, and I don't know, you're going to hate this because you wouldn't touch him at a 10-foot pole. I don't know why, but I'm kind of bullish on Michael Thomas this year. I don't know who's going to throw him the ball yet, and I'm not a numbers guy because I don't count. I don't know how to add. I don't know how to subtract. I could do long division, but that's really about it. So when I saw that in 11 games the last 2 years without Breeze, on 109 targets, he had 84 catches with 1,100 yards. Only 3 touchdowns, which scares the shit out of me. But I think whether it's Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, who was the guy that was throwing him the ball when Drew Brees was out, then I think he could come back to normal. I mean, he's a good receiver. He runs a lot of slants, doesn't do much other than that. But in a half PPR setting, if he's going to get 150 plus targets, then yeah, I'm going to take my chance on Michael Thomas and the talent at number 8.
Yeah, I've got Thomas at 9 here. I think that we're gonna remember how good Michael Thomas again is this year. My only worry is that they're gonna end up running a quarterback by committee.
Yeah, that's going to throw everything off.
We're gonna end up seeing a lot of. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see him getting downfield targets. Like Jameis Winston is going to take a lot of targets and chuck them down there for him, which is going to be huge because we never get that from Thomas.
TraeQuan Smith is going to be the guy.
Okay. The problem with Thomas this year is that when they hit the red zone or when they're inside the 10 and 5 yard line, they're going to put Taysom Hill out there. And then it's going to be all weird kind of fucking runs and Kamara kind of stuff. So
it's going to be like read option throws and weird shit. That
I could see Thomas going for like Thomas is going to be like 95 for 1,400 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, the touchdowns
like
really make me nervous. But
wait, hold on. Let me guess. You like Thomas more in best ball or PPR?
No, in PPR formats, like just because I feel like his value is targets, and if he just catches the ball like he usually does, because he's got those big old mitts, that's where he gets a lot of his points. He's getting 10, 11 targets a game, catches 7, 8 balls. That's where he gets a lot of points. He's not like a big yardage guy.
Yeah,
it's all slants that turn into like 10, 15 yards that piles up.
Right. Well, I think that's going to be a little different this year with Winston under. I feel like that was more of like the Saints offense being built around Breeze. Like their whole offense was short dump offs to running back, short slants to Michael Thomas. So with Winston, you could, for better or worse, open it up a little bit.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to work for them. I think the guy that when they open it up, it's going to be TraeQuan Smith getting the downfield balls.
All right, can we get?
I really feel like you're overestimating the impact TraeQuan Smith is going to have in an NFL offense.
I'm just saying, I think he's going to be their stretch deep ball guy. He's going to be the guy running the fades in the 9 routes, not Michael Thomas.
Okay.
That's a fair point.
All right.
So with Michael Thomas, hold on, real quick. With Michael Thomas, if there was going, I know it's probably going to be QB by committee because Sean Payton has a hard on for Taysom Hill, like I have a hard on for Parmesan cheese. But for Michael Thomas purposes, I feel like I'd rather Taysom Hill under center more so than Jameis, right? Or am I crazy for that?
I wouldn't rather Jameis.
Yeah, I don't know.
100%.
I don't know. I've seen him with Taysom, and I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too far into it. But yeah. Anyway,
I feel like him with Taysom is just like a shit version of him with Breeze. It's just like
I understand, but I could see 120 catches, 1,000 yards, and 3 touchdowns with Taysom Hill. And I mean, I would hate the touchdown production, but to get like 11 points a game, yeah, you're right. Yeah. For wide receiver 8, though. Yeah, you're right. Give me Jameis and that new LASIK surgery.
Yeah, stop it. All right.
Fly Taysom Hill to the fucking moon.
I went Thomas 9. Who'd you guys have at 9? Was that our 9 discussion?
I had AJ Brown at 9.
He was my 8.
So we
Mike Evans at 9.
Are you? I'm concerned.
I went with Mike Evans because of I think nothing's going to change in that situation that he was in, except for it will only just get better because of continuity and a second year in the system, catching balls from Tom Brady, second year in a row. Like all that's just gonna uptick. That's all.
I feel like him and Godwin are gonna have like a really similar target share. I could see Evans finishing with like 17 receiving touchdowns though.
I was just gonna say, he's double-digit touchdown guy. That's my main reason why. I think the fact that he's gonna get a lot of those red zone targets, it just makes him even more desirable.
I think he needs to get up to that touchdown rate because I have this strong feeling the Bucs are just going to run through everybody this year, and by like mid-third quarter, they're handing the ball off to their backup running back, Ronald Jones Jr. So, Evans better score a lot of touchdowns.
No, that's a good point. I feel like the defense is going to be so good, the offense is going to be so efficient that it's not going to be like Brady throwing the ball 38 times a game, which might be more of a hit on Godwin and Antonio Brown than it would be Evans because Evans is like a big play guy, a touchdown guy, so you don't need necessarily 8 targets, 10 targets a game. But yeah, I don't know.
You throw fades from the red zone, he's scoring.
I just think he's got a floor of 8 touchdowns, like right.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I'd be surprised if he finishes like far outside like the wide receiver 14 or so. He won't be a bad pick as long as you don't have to
like 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns is like his floor.
Yeah, that.
All right, pretty cool. Evans was a red zone machine last year. You're damn right, Talon. All right, number 10. Wait, did you guys say you're 9? Snacks, you had someone shitty. You had AJ Brown. That was actually good, just too low. Nick,
real shitty.
I had Michael Thomas.
Stupid.
Michael Thomas. All right, number 10. I went with DK Metcalf. Like you said, don't like overthink it. I overthink it a little bit here. I like him. I just think that he's still one dimensional. Like everyone says, like, oh, look, like DK can run routes, but like, what is he? He runs like a long dig and a 9 route. Like he's not that. And he goes on the other side of the field now. Catches a couple balls here and there. It's just too predicated on the deep ball, and I don't think it's sustainable for a whole season, which is kind of what we saw last year. So unless he made some leaps and bounds in his route running and is catching, I don't see much improvement.
I would say that's fair, but it's a stupid take.
He very well may be the best wide receiver, have the best wide receiver season of all time now.
Yeah. I would say that's
after I said that.
I would say
for like the first 6 weeks, you're probably right.
His floor is probably best wide receiver season of all time.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You'll see.
I'm going. I have Davante Adams at 10 just because like I didn't know where the fuck to put him. I'm basically drafting as if I was in a best ball draft right now. Like I wouldn't take Davante Adams higher than realistically like Michael Thomas or anything like that. You know, if I'm in a best ball league and it's an underdog draft and I'm, you know, at like the fucking 312 or the 403 or something and Davante Adams is there, yeah, I'm going to pull the trigger, but I'm not going to take him above Michael Thomas, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, those kind of guys. So right now, obviously with the Aaron Rodgers news, that's what matters. If Aaron Rodgers is gone, yeah, he's probably going to drop to like wide receiver, I don't know, like 12 to 15 range, and probably just not going to be a guy that I draft ever. But right now, he's just fucking sitting pretty here. You got to show him enough respect to have him in this conversation for a quick social clip.
You take off for a quick social clip. That's why it's all good here. So
just a frozen you, and this would be disaster social clips. But.
This is an audio social clip.
Well, you got two disgusting looking human beings that keep moving their faces like me and you, animal. All right, so 10. I hate doing it. I really do. But fuck, I can't stop thinking.
Yep.
I think Terry McLaurin's gonna have an unbelievable year.
Mm.
I thought you were going Kenny Galladay.
No, I'm not going Kenny Galladay. Although, no, I don't know with Fitzpatrick, who just. Wherever he goes, he just seemingly slings the ball 35 times a game. And he's always finding those guys like Terry McLaurin. And I had him at 11. I have Keenan Allen 11. I kept going back and forth. And I put Terry up there because I like the weapons they have in Washington. And I think it just opens him up more. And I think his quarterback situation, even though Ryan Fitzpatrick, I couldn't trust, to save my life. I just think it's an upgrade from last year and getting the ball out and getting it to. I see it firsthand twice a year how good he actually is, because I never really believed it. You know, I was always like, oh, it's on the numbers and whatnot. And then you watch him. Do we still believe it?
Are we still sure that Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to be like a good NFL quarterback?
No.
If he's shitty, is anyone going to be surprised if he starts going like
212
for one touchdown, 2 interceptions, like game after game?
No, not at all. But that's the sick part. I still think he's an upgrade over an Alex Smith, a Taylor Heineke.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So that's why I like Terry a lot. I originally had him at 12, then I moved him to 11, then I put him all the way up to 10 because maybe I'm trying to try this new thing of really not being a biased douchebag. But I think Terry has a really great year, so that's why I put him 10.
Animal, I want to hear your take on Terry. He feels like a guy you like, but off your board.
I have Terry at 11.
Okay, fair.
He's my 11. So
for some reason,
I just didn't want to put him in the top 10 just because of the Fitz part. Like I love Terry. It's just I can't put someone in the top 10 when Ryan Fitzpatrick is their quarterback at age like 42. Like I can't, whatever he is, I can't do it.
Yeah,
so, it's just the doubt.
Yeah, he was like no one liked him more than I did last year.
Good,
but I can't seem to pull the trigger on Terry right now in drafts. It's just. I just can't get this. I feel like nobody's factoring in the risk of Ryan Fitzpatrick just not being a good starting. Like I know that he started last year and he did really well, but like him being, in the same way that you were like no one prepared for Calvin Ridley because his tape or whatever. I feel like if NFL defenses now get to prepare for fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick, it might be a problem for him. And they do. Last year was like a volume thing, and this year he's not going to get as much volume. He could be way more efficient. Obviously, the deep targets could be there, and it opens things up. Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown, Gibson probably taking a step forward. This seems like the right range for Terry. I don't know. Like I'm having a tough time like really pulling the trigger.
I think he'll probably finish top 15, closer to the 15 than the 10, like 13, 14.
Probably, yes. Correct. I think just like over the last week, I've kind of come around more to liking Terry. But it's a tough spot.
Advocate though. Terry hasn't really ever had a quarterback. So even if Fitzpatrick sucks, like how bad can he be to like where it's still, lower than what he's been playing with for the past 2 seasons. Like, who's he really
right? And
throwing the ball?
That's kind of where my thought process went. Like, yeah, Fitz sucks, and you can't trust him for anything. But he legitimately might be the best throwing quarterback that Terry's ever played with in the NFL.
Yeah.
In his 3rd year. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities for him to be the 10th best fantasy points basis. I mean, maybe a little high. I should have probably kept him at 12. And my next one, I fucking hate even more. I'm going back to back of guys I just hate. But
yeah, I probably have the guy that you hate right now. At number 11, I have Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that's exactly who I have.
He's not a guy that I feel like I've owned 0 shares of Amari Cooper in redraft, possibly in my entire life. This year, I really want to get a couple of shares just from the small glimpse that we saw. It always feels like Amari Cooper, we're looking at like a 25% sample size of everything good he's ever done. You know, it's like this stretch and this run, and this is what he did here because of this thing happened right. And last year we got the 5 games of Dak Prescott, and during that time, Amari Cooper was like in the running to be the wide receiver 1 overall. You know, he was in that discussion, averaging over 100 receiving yards a game in the games that Dak started last year. Dak seems to be in the
Dak's back.
Yeah, Dak is fucking bike right now, so it seems like he's going to be healthy, ready to roll. That offense
Week 7.
Very up. I mean, if you remember what he did last year, they were on pace for literally like 6,300 passing yards with Dak. So Mark Cooper, I feel like he's the alpha until we start hearing about like reports of an ankle injury or something that happens in the summer. Then I'll pull back a little bit. But for now, dude, like I don't know, dude. I feel like Amari Cooper, he might have one breakout year in him, like one real elite breakout year. And I feel like if it's going to happen, it's going to be this year. So I like Cooper.
Yeah. 11. Yeah, 11. That's exactly where I had Cooper. And these are the 2 I was going back and forth on. I just looking at what they did before Dak went down. I forget the team that knocked him out, but either way, what he was doing with Dak and then McCarthy and just airing it out. With the way Dak is looking, and it looks like he's on pace to be 100% for week 1. There's what's not to like. That offense is unbelievably explosive, and Cooper isn't getting paid $20 million a year for being dog shit. So you
guys at all worried about Amari Cooper's ability to not play on the road for some reason?
Well, that kind of got spelled last year in the first few weeks, though.
Talon said it.
I'm glad you brought that up because no, it's true because 2 years ago he literally had 8 unbelievable games and then 8 very subpar games, and those were literally home and away. So yeah, it's not the worst. It's not the worst piece of information.
I also think this defense is really bad too, which just lends itself to having about 1,000 pass attempts for the year as well. You know, so it's just like I don't know. I see Cooper as a guy who has a really high. He's one of the few guys down here I feel like has a really nice floor, but also has like an elite ceiling. You know, maybe the chance of him hitting that elite ceiling is not that high, but I still think in the range of outcomes could be top 3 fantasy wide.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't have him in my top 12 though. He's right outside. He's at 14, but
that's surprising because you're usually a big Amari Cooper stan.
You know what it is? It's just between Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. It's just there's too many mouths to feed for him to be considered top 12 for me, even though he obviously could be. It's just I think other guys can easily steal from him, so that's why I think him in the top 12.
All right, so who's your 12?
But you know who I do have as my number 12? Mr. Allen Robinson. Guy has been slept on basically his whole career. So top 12 wide receiver. It's not even close for me. Justin Fields is going to be there. Should be an upgrade over his quarterback situation for the past couple of years too. He's another guy who has never really had a good quarterback and has still produced at an elite level year in, year out. You know, he did it with Blake Bortles. He did it with friggin' Nick Foles and Trubisky. The guy just does it. So he's just underrated every year.
He really is like criminally underrated. I have him at 13 and I put Keenan Allen at 12. Just kind of a lot of the things Nick said earlier. I don't have as much confidence in top 4, but with that offense, Herbert improved O-line, Keenan Allen healthy. The guy literally just racks up 120 catches a year, 6 million targets. It's kind of hard to leave him out of the top 12. So Keenan Allen rounds out my 12, and Animal, I agree with everything you said about Allen Robinson. I like him.
Allen Robinson just
that's a guy in a super flex draft. You're drafting 2 running backs and a quarterback, and you're completely okay 4th, 5th round drafting Allen Robinson as your wide receiver 1. You feel amazing in that. Good for you, Animal.
He's just so fucking boring though. He just doesn't move the needle.
He really is so boring.
Allen Robinson, the Bears, no good.
It's not like I don't think he's good.
It's 13.2 points a game.
Yeah, I guess it's fine, but I don't know. I actually like really got to 12, and I didn't put a concrete player here. It was Terry Allen Robinson, and the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to put Julio there, which I know is a really bad take, but I want to do it just because I really have this idea that it's going to be a 53% target share between those two. I still think Julio's fine. I still think Julio's got it. It's going to be weird transitioning into that offense, and he'll be probably the secondary piece there, but like, I don't know. I feel like Julio's going to get too slept on. However, if I'm sitting there and I'm like, I need to take one at the number 12, it's going to be Terry. It's going to be scary Terry. He just did too good for me last year.
I actually have one thing for that Julio take for you that I do like about it. With the Jonnu Smith departure, there's a lot of red zone targets from the 1 yard line that hope for a big guy. And Julio Jones is the big wide receiver there. So there's a possibility we see Julio Jones actually score touchdowns this year, but they're going to be like 2-yarders. But who cares because they're touchdowns.
Well, how come you say like Julio's the big wide receiver there now, and is AJ Brown? Do I have the wrong size measurements for AJ Brown?
Well, you know what I'm saying is the fact that AJ Brown was there last year and Jonnu Smith was still catching 2-yard touchdowns on the goal line. So now if they just throw those to Julio now, could open up a whole new part of his game in the red zone where he's never really gotten to take advantage of it.
That's fair. That was my thinking for Keenan Allen as well. Wow, Deshaun Watson just went off the board at the 3-2. God damn it. I was kind of looking
great pick.
Yeah, I was hoping he fell to my next pick in like the 4th round. Most of the startups that I've been in, or that I've seen through the Big Dogs leagues, he's been falling to like midway through the 4th round. I think that was a fantastic fucking pick. I was hoping I can get him. That's neither here nor here.
He's going to be a Bronco for the next 5 years. He's going to be sick.
Him and Aaron Rodgers.
Him in jail.
They're going to be competing for the quarterback.
We're getting them both, baby.
Oh, my God.
And we're bringing Sean Payton in to coach.
What a team. What a guy. What a city. I think, Scary Terry, did we wrap up? Everybody got their 12 in?
Yeah, everybody's got their 12, which I think
Robinson
we all have the same guys in there. You have Allen Robinson and you don't have Keenan Allen, correct? Bobby Trees.
I don't believe Keenan Allen's not in your top 12.
He's like 14. I have like
That's out of control.
Oh no, Amari's 14. I have him he's like 13, 14, 15. He's one of those.
You were about to say 15.
I'll put him at 15 right now. I don't give a shit. I'll put him at 17.
We are.
You want to test me?
Animal. We're 27 picks into this Dynasty league. We're at the 3-4. Guess how this is half PPR for running backs, full PPR for wide receivers, 1.5 for tight ends. Guess how many wide receivers have been picked so far?
3.
We're at the 3-4. 0.
Wow.
0. All running backs.
That's an electric draft.
It's crazy.
Becoming it's such a crowded. There's like you said, like we could probably go through this 5 different times now before the season starts, and these guys will probably change because there's so many.
There's also like 6. There's also like right, exactly. And there's like 6 receivers that we could probably make an argument that should be in this top 12 list. Which it's such a crowd.
T. Higgins could be a top 10 wide receiver, but I'm never going to put him there. But he could finish as a top 10 wide receiver easily. Like there's a lot of guys like that you're not going to put at your top 12 wide receiver rankings, but they could easily get there. Like Adam Thielen, why not?
So T. Higgins can easily get there.
I think T can go 1110.
Yeah.
I was gonna come with a Jamar Chase take, and maybe he can sneak into the top 12 just based on what Justin Jefferson did last year, and Cincinnati being so god fucking awful to throw the ball. But I don't have the balls to do it, so I leave the big balls takes to Animal.
Jerry Jeudy could end up being a top 10, top 12 guy. So there's a lot of possibilities. That's why this is fun though, because the wide receivers are interesting this year because there's a lot of them. Running backs are going to be the very popular pick, but after that, if you know what you're doing in the wide receiver position, man, you have a good year. Robert Woods.
We need to do another debate show. We need to do the running backs debate, but in person.
I would love.
Yeah.
To
By
that.
the way,
the running backs are hot.
Honestly, if we have to go live on Friday, I say fuck it, do something different. I don't care anything. Like this week was on me. Yes, I understand. I had a big work commitment, a big long day Tuesday, but I would rather go to Animal's house and just film him doing nothing breathing heavy. All he does, he could stand up and he breathes heavy, and then put that out as an episode. No more Zooms or whatever this is called. Live shows only.
Well,
I said my piece,
Well,
Chrissy.
you mean in-person shows only. This is technically a live show.
In-person shows only. Okay? I said my piece, Chrissy.
All right.
You get it, Animal.
Gotcha.
You get it.
Okay.
I do.
Did you
We
get it?
are
Did you get it?
It's logging off.
Wait, real quick. Hold on,
Yeah.
real quick, Nick.
Yes.
Since you're a basketball guy now,
Yeah.
who we got winning the NBA title?
Can you remind me?
Who do you think's gonna win? Who are you rooting for?
Can you
The Nets and the Nets.
Yes. I mean, the Nets are gonna easily win. It's if they don't win, embarrassing.
And I think they're gonna win.
Season all of sports.
what's up with James
They are
Harden?
gonna. It doesn't matter.
No, he's hurt.
He'll be
okay.
fine.
What's
He'll be
going on?
fine. He's hurt, but he'll be back
They
for
can
the
win
next
without
round
him,
where they
honestly.
beat Philly.
They can't win.
Yeah,
without him.
it's ridiculous.
They can win without him.
I've said this to you, Animal, before, and on Animal's House. I'm always been infatuated with the Utah Jazz. So
Oh, they're so.
I have them going to the finals. I have
Yes.
a parlay with the Jazz winning the West and the Nets winning the East.
that's gonna hit.
Sharp.
I think that's gonna.
So no Suns here, no Suns love.
Listen,
Not yet.
the
They're
Suns.
a
Every
year
time
away.
I think the Suns are like, but Chris Paul, it's like almost like, is this finally the year?
That's
Like,
what I
he
mean.
gets
Like,
there.
You know, I saw the Suns were good, and then I was like, oh, I didn't even realize they fucking added Chris Paul this year. And now
I
I'm
think the
watching the
Suns
team.
are
I'm
like
like,
a lesser version of the Jazz this year. That's like they're the same teams basically. They both have their star shooters and they got some good big men and stuff. But like the Jazz have the edge.
It's gonna be a great
Coaching.
series.
The Jazz have the best
Overall
defensive
players.
player in basketball, and they have shooting
Yeah.
everywhere. And in this league, shooting wins. So
Like Jordan Clarkson's a
All right,
six man,
good
but he
talk.
should be a starter like in most teams. So
I'm
like
saying, I'm saying
Correct.
stuff like
Clippers.
that.
Clippers take it home. Clippers versus Knicks.
Love
That's
that.
not a
Finals.
good idea.
love that.
I wouldn't say that. All right.
And then
so-
Kawhi comes home to New York. See you, boys.
Kawhi, Mitchell, LeBron, they're all here. Goodbye.
I don't want LeBron. No, I wouldn't be a Knicks fan.